find riding a motorcycle with good suspension is incredibly inspiring, especially when you're riding hard and around corners. It's like you're on rails. Good suspension makes your bike safe. Suspension's interesting because it's one of the most important components of a motorcycle, but it's often the most neglected, especially in the Harley Davidson market. Now, your bike's got to be equipped to get down the road smoothly, but also safely. And there are two big reasons behind this change. My wife doesn't often jump on the back of the bike, but going forward, she's got a lot more time to do so. And the second reason is I ride a lot with some guys who have some seriously quick bikes compared to mine. You're not allowed to go fast anymore, but you're allowed to hammer. And I want to hammer. Let's say, for example, the price of petrol is $1.80 and we happen to be hammering along. There's not that much confidence in my suspension. So I'm going to get new suspension this morning. I know what I want, but I'm just going to see what they say as well to confirm my choice. And this is going to be ace because hammering is going to be done with much more confidence.
Looking like a thunderstorm, here we go.
Hey, how you going, mate? I'm down here at Suspensions R Us in Seaford. They're an importer of a range of suspension for our motorcycles, probably one of the biggest importers in Australia. Is that right, Ray? Yeah. So let's say good day to Izzy. Hey Izzy, how you going, mate?
Good to meet you, bud.
Now, I've got some suspension in mind because there are so many different choices on the market. I've just come down here to make sure that, because I'm not a suspension expert, and Izzy is, so I'm just making sure that I have made the right choice, and let's see what suspension I come out with later in the day. So what does suspension do on your motorcycle? It pretty much levels out all of the bumps, or it smooths out the road. Some people would say it averages out the inconsistencies in the road. I'd say it's going to be a lot safer and a lot smoother ride. Sort of like you're on rails. That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the channel. My name's Eamon. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to check out the website, oldnotdead.club. Grab yourself some great supporter gear, a sticker, a cap, a t-shirt. I appreciate it. It keeps the channel going. So when you hit a bump, good suspension is going to bring you back to your original position, both fast and smoothly. Motorcycles are interesting because you've only got two little contact patches of rubber that are attached to the, well, not even attached, that are in contact with the road. So suspension is pretty much responsible for making sure that your tyres are in contact with the road for the maximum amount of time, hopefully always. So here's 5 reasons I chose Wilbers Suspension over any other brand. And I've tried most of the brands that are on the market on one bike or another. I wouldn't say I'm a suspension expert, but I've been around long enough to understand good suspension versus poor suspension. First reason is, I did a bit of research and a lot of people were saying Wilbers Suspension is the most comfortable suspension on the market. That's a bonus. What about happy wife, happy life? We're making her suffer on the back of this bike for long enough.
I see you with your tangled hair, hiding behind the curtains of your own despair.
Now we've just come up a driveway at this motorcycle store and the bump was massive and Sarah says, wow, because it's so smooth, isn't it? What did you think of the new Wilbers suspension? Pressure!
Burn it down, the whole city tried. Burn it down and everything inside. Sweet revenge through your song, and it goes through the night. Hear the cries for miles and miles. See the smoke stretch to the sky.
So day 2 on the Wilbers suspension, what do you think?
Smooth.
Did you notice I was deliberately going over a few potholes?
Yes.
And what happened?
I thought you were being silly.
Now reason number 2 is it's a high-end premium suspension system. It's made in Germany. Everybody knows that German engineering is bang at the top of the world. It comes with a 10-year warranty to back that statement up. Reason number 3 is it comes as a complete front and rear suspension package that is matched and also tailored to my weight. And when you're ordering this, you would specify how much you weigh. As a solo rider, they would set the spring up accordingly, so it's tailor-made.
I want you more than money. I wanna float on downstream, go and find my wild dreams, yeah. I'd kill to feel.
Now I'm with Mark at V-Twin Performance in Taylors Hill. This is a Harley Davidson specialist, a performance workshop. I'm getting the suspension put on by an expert, and that's Mark. Let's say hello. Hey Mark, how you going?
G'day guys, how are we?
Right, what do you do here, Mark?
So look, we specialise in custom work, but we'll do anything from a standard oil change or a repair to a full-on blown race bike and anything in between. So it depends what you want, we're here to help.
And Mark does quick bikes. Let's have a quick look at his own personal street glide, 160 horsepower.
We're breaking all the laws of our universe, northern lights.
All right, so we're going to set the sag of the suspension so that it is set up perfectly for me. So the Wilbers suspension is tailor-made to your weight. When you're purchasing a pair, you tell them how much you weigh. They put in the appropriate spring into the shocks based on your weight. And then when you're having them installed or installing them yourself, you must set the sag correctly for them to work efficiently or at their best.
My freaks, yeah. I'd kill to see the stars cry, roam in the dark while love hide. Let the world know you're mine. Oh, ups and downs, no in betweens. Fire and ice, burn gasoline. You know I love it. You know I love it. Love and hate, romantic sin. Fire and ice, gone with the wind. You know I love it.
What we do now is we pull the bottom of the fork all the way up so that it's the equivalent of the fork being collapsed. And we want to have 110 mil between the top of this and where the oil level is.
So you're measuring the air gap?
The air gap, correct. So the air gap needs to be 110 mil, which is what we've got here. So it's quite simple. You just simply pull that down there until you hear air getting pulled, which is about there. And that means you've got 110 mil between there and yours.
Beautiful.
We're the kind burning blind. Northern lights, roaring skies. We're the kind burning blind. We're breaking all the laws of our universe.
Reason number 4 is it's a self-leveling or self-adjusting system. Now what that means is, sure, it's set for my weight. Then when there are any changes, like when my wife jumps on the back of the bike, I don't have to take off the saddlebags. I don't have to turn anything. I don't have to look up at the manual to find out the correct weight. The suspension just adjusts itself. I can't really get too technical on it, but one of the shocks has a system where the oil pumps from one chamber to another and allows for it to be adjusted according to the new weight that's placed on the bike. So you don't even have to think about it. It's set up once and then it just adjusts itself within 100 or so meters of riding down the road. Now think about that carefully, because in real life, I don't know too many people who ride by themselves and have their suspension adjusted perfectly, and then when their partner jumps on the back, they go to the trouble of taking off a saddlebag and adjusting the suspension to the correct setting and then readjusting it when they return. But I know from watching people, it never happens. Now, I don't have to worry about this, and it's going to be perfect all the time. That is seriously good. You just don't adjust it. It does it itself.
I see you with your tangled hair, hiding behind.
Got myself some new Wilbers suspension, both on the rear and on the front. It's absolutely fantastic. I've done about 600 kilometers with it already. Today we're going to ride for about an hour, and we're going to meet up with Graham and Tennille. Then we're going to ride to a bike show, which I'm hoping has a lot of Vicklers. I'm going to test this suspension thoroughly. I'm going to find the bumpiest, curviest roads on the way, and we're going to give it a real good workout. Sarah's on the back, so she's going to suffer if it's no good, but I already know it's absolutely sensational. We're going to change the name of the channel to the Sensational channel because I've just been told I use the word sensational too much, but I'll tell you, the suspension is sensational.
Stretch to the sky, burning down the whole city, child. Sweet revenge is your lullaby. The tears fall down your precious face, banished into the shadows of your own disgrace. Forgive them, but they feel no shame. If only they knew you held the golden flame, the sweet sound of demons calling out your name. Burn it down, the whole city, child. Burn it down and everything inside. Sweet revenge through your song, and it goes through the night. Hear the cries for miles and miles. See the smoke stretch to the sky. Burn it down, the whole city, child. Sweet revenge is your lullaby. Your lullaby. Sweet revenge. Sweet revenge. Sweet revenge. Burn it down, the whole city, child. Burn it down
Tastes good,
and
don't they?
everything inside. Sweet revenge through your song.
How are you guys?
Hear the cries for miles and miles. See the smoke stretch to the sky. Burn it down, the whole city, child. Sweet revenge is your lullaby. Your lullaby.
Check out the gold chain. Check out the weight of this gold chain. Look at this, my wife's gifted me a birthday present. Check out Graham's handlebars. Because we're doing such hard riding, even with my wife on the back, and following Graham around. They've had to stop and get us a gremlin bell for good luck.
It says, ride it like you stole it.
Thank you very much.
That's okay.
Where am I going to put it? Put in the comments where I should hang this gremlin bell. Now the big question is, what does it feel like? I tell you now, it is smooth as silk. Sure, you can feel that you are going over bumps or ridges or ruts, but man, it's an amazing feeling. It's so different because it's so smooth. It really does smooth everything out. What I noticed over the longer rides are I don't get as tired. Now the second thing I noticed is much easier to turn corners, much more steady in the corners. Those big long sweepers where you're traveling at the speed limit but riding really hard are very easy, comfortable and confidence inspiring. makes a huge difference. But absolutely the best thing now is I'm having a lot more fun on my bike. And reason number 5 is they have a local representative. They've got representatives that sell this particular suspension in Australia and America. So if something goes wrong, I've got somebody local who's going to take care of it in a matter of days, not weeks. I don't have to send anything off to anyone. That's pretty much a guarantee for success. That's why I chose Wilbers. I can't stress enough how good this is.
I want you more than money. I wanna float on downstream, go and find my wild dreams, yeah. I'd kill to feel it all shake you like a twisted mind game. I'll be burned by your flame.